maybe. But I definitely see that Arkansas trying to make sure that they keep the ball in the air a little bit more. And if it does get a little close, I think you'll start to see Arkansas do more of a time management scheme, keeping the ball on the ground if it gets close. But if it does kind of blow open, I see that Arkansas could definitely kind of put it in the air a little bit. And, maybe rub a little salt in that wound and make sure you get that thing all closed up and completely move on from this debacle that the whole entire state has been spewing about for the last 10 years. So let's look at some sports here on the campus, and we'll kind of detail those a little bit. Golf, men's golf team, they were at the Frederica Cup last week at St. Simons, Georgia. They did take 6th place out of 8 teams. Vandy was the winner of that series, and they shot a 46 under. Razorback shot 16 under, but they were led by redshirt sophomore Emmanuel Lozada. He was at 5 under. It's great to see him get back on the course. And women's golf, they were at the Carmel Cup at Pebble Beach Golf Course in Pebble Beach, California. They took 5th. Miriam Iora, she did shoot 4 over for team lead, and the team did shoot 28 over. They took 5th place. Stanford took 1st. They shot 12 under, so it looks like the ladies had a little bit of a difficult time there at Pebble Beach. But again, that's a PGA course. That is a very difficult course, no matter what tee box you're going to hit off of. So it was good to see the ladies get swinging back in action. Cross country, the women are at Southern Missouri this weekend at the Southern Missouri Stampede in Joplin. And they are running today. And their next stop is going to be at the Cowboy Jamboree over in Stillwater, Oklahoma on the 24th. Now, the men, they're off this weekend, and they're actually off for the next 2 weekends. Their next trip is going to be over at home here at the Chili Pepper on the 30th. The women will be participating in that too. That is going to be a huge event. You've got schools from middle and junior high school, junior college, all ascending on Fayetteville on the 30th. And that is going to be a huge 2-day event. I know that the men will run on the 30th, and so will the women. I know that the lower schools like middle school, junior high, and high school will be running on that Saturday. So let's go ahead and move on into soccer for just a few moments. Soccer coach Hale's team is 5-2-1 on the season. They did lose their SEC opener to Mississippi State 2-0. They're 0-1 in the conference. Mississippi State's defense was very stout. Arkansas had a hard time moving the ball against them up into the towards the goal there. They only had 2 shots on goal. I do believe they had 9 shots total, but only 2 of them were on goal. So Mississippi State's defense was extremely stout. They were keeping the ladies on their heels, and Mississippi State did outshoot them 3-2 shots on goal. And so we'll have to kind of hopefully Coach Hale will be able to get his ladies back on track with their next game. I'll have to double check on that. Give me just 2 seconds here, y'all. But in the meantime, while I'm looking this up, whenever you guys are listening, if you guys get on Facebook, I want to see your score predictions for today for Missouri State. Players of the game as well, if you want. I'll go over those. I'll connect on Facebook and Twitter, SoundCloud, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio. I'm on all of that. So if you guys listen in, jump back on Facebook, give me your thoughts of what the Razorbacks will, the final score today, and who the possible players of the game would be. Arkansas plays Auburn on Thursday, September 22nd at home. The game will be on the SEC Network at 6 p.m. And that will be for the ladies soccer team on Thursday. Lance Larkin, thanks for the like here. Appreciate that. So let's move on to baseball for just a few moments. They are in the midst of their fall ball practices. They do wrap up their fall ball on the 30th with a full scrimmage. It will be open to the public. That'll be at 6 p.m. And make sure to get out there. There's some, if you follow Mason Choate or Andrew Hutchinson on Twitter, they give you live updates of how these scrimmages are going. I do believe there's some new guys that are coming in that have got some real pop. I know that Hagen Smith got taken yard once by one of the newer guys. His name escapes me, but definitely double check them. Check them out on Twitter. They are giving updates as those scrimmages are going on, or I should say practices that are kind of scrimmages. But there is going to be a full-on red versus white scrimmage again on September 30th at 6 p.m. at Baum Walker Stadium. And it's free to the public. I don't think they're going to have concession stands. Might want to call it the university. Make sure. I know that last fall, folks were able to bring their own food in. That might be the case. It might not be. So double check on that as well. All right. So swimming and diving team, they are going to be actually today in Little Rock for the Arkansas Invitational. That starts about 30 minutes ago at 10 a.m. And I think you can catch that on the SEC Plus network. Now, if you go on and to the Arkansas Razorbacks app or the ArkansasRazorbacks.com website, I know that there's a lot of people that have had a hard time trying to find and access the games or matches that they're wanting to see. Now, if you go on to the ArkansasRazorback.com or Arkansas Razorback app, and you click on the sports drop down and you click on the sport with their schedule, it'll bring a direct link to that event that you can watch right then and there. So make sure to open the app or the website, click on sports, go down to the sport that you like and click on schedule. It will bring up that game that you're wanting to see live. If you click on it, it'll either say like ESPN Plus, SEC Network Plus, SEC Network, ESPN, and you'll have to provide a login for your provider. But once you get to that point, you'll be able to watch that game or match that you're wanting to watch. So let's take a look at the volleyball team for a minute. They have had a hell of a ride so far the first part of the season. They are currently 9-1, ranked 24th in the country, which they're going to move up. They've won 7 in a row. They beat Georgia Tech. They took down the Rambling Wreck, the number 7 team in the nation, 3-1 on Thursday night. They followed that up with another win last night. So Georgia Tech was on Thursday night, and then they beat North Carolina State last night 3-1. The first two sets were pretty well dominated by Arkansas. The third set was a little tricky. Arkansas was the first to 20. They had a 20-14 lead going into that third set. Looked like they were going to cruise to another sweep of the season. a couple of unforced errors and some stout defense there at the net by the North Carolina State defense, and their height were really causing the Razorbacks some problems. They weren't able to get the ball over the net. They were making some unforced errors. They actually came back to win that third set, 26-24, and you kind of saw the Razorbacks had that look of, we got to get this job done. We got to get this situation taken care of. North Carolina State, they came in that fourth set on a little bit of a high, but Arkansas had also a little bit of a hard time capitalizing on some long rallies at the end of the third set, and they started turning the tide with their their powerful hitting in that fourth set, and they ended up taking the fourth set 25-20, I do believe, and they ended up scoring the victory last night. Again, they are 9-1 in the season. They're going to be moving up in the ranks. They have an incredible student section there, and you definitely should go check them out. I do believe that ticket price at the window there at Barnhill is only $5, and it's a great time and a lot of action, and it gets loud in there. Coach Watson talked a little bit about how loud it can get in there with a good student section, so definitely go check that out. So the men's tennis, they are doing a little bit of their fall previews this week. The USTA is hosting the Fayetteville Futures on Monday, September 19th. They've got some young talent that's going to be coming in to the on campus from all over the world. That is going to be sponsored by the U.S. Tennis Association and the International Tennis Federation. So make sure you go over and check that out on Monday, September 19th. That is going to be an all-day event. So let's look at softball for just a moment. They are still doing their unlimited practices, which means that you have two teams, and each individual player is racking up points. Kind of the way that they do with the professional ladies league that you've seen, like Danielle Gibson and Taylor Ellsworth, Mary Half. Mary is over pitching overseas. But you've seen Danielle Gibson actually highlighted on ESPN a few times with her play, where individuals rack up points, and then you get the team name after you for the next game, and so on and so forth. They kind of get to pick their teams. And Coach Deifel is kind of following that system a little bit. And then that'll lead up to the scrimmages that the softball team are going to have on the 18th. I'm sorry, not 18th, but the October 8th and 9th. On October 8th, Arkansas is going to play Louisiana Tech at 1 and 3:30, so that'll be a doubleheader. And then Arkansas will follow up that next day with a first game at 11 a.m. against Louisiana Tech. And then the second game was going to be against Missouri Southern State University. And those, I do not believe that they're going to be charged. I think those are going to be free admission. You guys can just, jump in there and watch some great softball. Now, it is going to be a little bit of a test for the Razorbacks because Louisiana Tech, they are no slouch. They did win the Conference USA regular season championship last year. So they do have a lot of great talent coming in to this season. That's going to definitely test the Razorbacks a little bit early in the season with a lot of new players, a little bit of key positions being filled. You're going to see that Hannah Gamble's definitely taken a leadership role with this team, and she kind of had that torch passed her by Danielle Gibson and KB Sides as those leaders that you saw last year, and seeing what she can do as far as help leading this team to possibly cracking through the super regional and see if they are able to get over to a possible women's softball World Series this year. And you come into this season and you have a couple of